Western Riders and the Montreal Alouettes at halftime at Olympic Stadium. We get questions from all across Canada for our Ask the Commissioner segment. We have one today from the United States. Scott Leslie of Houston, Texas writes in, says he's really enjoyed watching the CFL on ESPN this year. Will the CFL ever expand into the U.S.? Doug Mitchell, interesting question.
Yeah, it is, Dan. Actually, we've been invited to play preseason games there. We also have had inquiries about franchises in the U.S., but I don't see it happening. Basically, we would prefer to stay in Canada, and if we do expand, we'd like to get that 10th franchise in Canada.
In the East, I would assume.
In the East, that's right.
Is the reluctance to expand into the U.S., does that have to do with the CFL not wanting the NFL to come north? Is it kind of a gentleman's agreement?
Not really. I think we look at it on the basis that it's a Canadian football league. It's not the North American or the Intercontinental Football League, and basically to stay in Canada, I think, is a preference. It's got nothing to do with whether or not we'd feel there would be an exchange of other leagues coming into Canada.
So fans of the CFL will remain watching the games on ESPN in the States, but they won't have an American team to cheer for some time anyway. If you want to ask the commissioner, here's the address, Bay Street in Toronto.
Well, I was glad to hear the commissioner say that, because I think we've got enough problems on this side of the border before expanding into the U.S. However, we have had a very enjoyable first half.